Welcome back to NYSE TV Live. Well, upcoming IPOs are generating plenty of excitement on Wall Street. Of course, changes to economic policy, namely tariffs, have presented companies with new factors to consider as they look to tap the capital markets. Joining me now with more is Avery Marquez, Director of Investment Strategies at Renaissance Capital. Avery, thank you so much for joining this morning. What are you seeing in the IPO market?
Given all of the recent volatility, the IPO market is actually in a pretty good position heading into the rest of the second quarter. We're not quite back to where we were at the beginning of the year, but conditions have definitely improved. We're starting to see a strong rally in returns, and I want to point specifically to the Renaissance IPO Index, which is up more than 30% from its April low. So there is interest in new issues again. Now we just need to see more companies join the pipeline to support a pickup.
Interesting. And of course, we do see that the market is just within about 4% of its all-time high. There are factors that are supporting it at that level. How does that change the game for companies on the sidelines considering a public offering right now?
The stronger conditions that we're seeing will definitely make some of these names reconsider delaying their timelines. I know that some are still looking to push their timelines back a few months, but seeing these strong returns, seeing the strong debut, especially from eToro yesterday, will likely encourage some of these names that have been waiting to either finally launch or finally file.
Interesting. And you mentioned eToro there. We have more companies, of course, in the pipeline as well. Avery, any particular offerings that are looking at an IPO soon that you think could be attractive to investors?
Yes, we have two sizable deals on the calendar for next week already, Hinge Health and Mountain. And we have two recent filers, Omada Health and the big name Chime. And all of these names kind of share that tariff-resistant quality, that their businesses may not be directly or severely impacted by the tariffs. And we do expect to see that trend going forward as more companies look to tap the market in this kind of uncertain environment.
All right, so what are the factors that you see companies talking about on roadshows right now when it comes to the state of play for IPOs?
Volatility is definitely the big one. Anything that introduces volatility into the market is going to make it difficult to price an IPO, even in a strong market. So combining that volatility with these global macro headwinds, that is definitely weighing on new issuance. But I do believe that some of these names believe that they can overcome that with strong fundamentals, robust cash flow, or otherwise defensive kind of business models.
It sounds like healthcare companies are interested in tapping the capital markets at this particular stage. Avery, any certain industries that you think we might see more activity from in the months ahead?
We could see more activity from software, actually. There's been a strong rally in those stocks. And those are names that might not be directly impacted by tariffs. They're definitely more sensitive on the valuation side, but we have seen several VC-backed tech names moving forward with listings. Some of them I've mentioned, but we're also looking to Figma and maybe Navan later this year.
You know, it's interesting, Avery, we do see that the market is within striking distance of an all-time high. I know that you track IPO performance as well. Is there any more you can share in terms of how some of these companies are faring since tapping the capital markets?
Yeah, we've seen the names that we've seen go public this year have largely done well. There was that very strong blip in February with the sell-off, and definitely after the tariff announcements in April, there was that huge drop. But these names have recovered, and the names that we've seen go public since then have done well. We had those two sizable insurance IPOs a couple weeks ago. They both delivered pretty solid gains, and we had eToro. So now, yeah, investors are going to be looking to next week's deals and the weeks after that to see more strong performances, and if so, that might reopen the IPO window.
Avery Marquez, Director of Investment Strategies at Renaissance Capital. Avery, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.